This is gonna be awesome.
Did it automatically go live? Man,
we're live.
All right.
We're live.
Greetings, Heroes World citizens. Welcome to in its brand new time slot. So what did I miss? The new show where we scour the internet and find all the important news items in geek culture and bring them to you so you don't have to. I am one of your trial and potentially former after today host, Chris, brother of John. And my co-host and slash panelist is resident Heroes World Magic expert and toy aficionado, Pat. Pat, say something.
What's going on? Thanks for tuning in if you're there.
This is going so well. But along with him, we have esteemed panel co-hosts of the Sidekick Show, Heroes World Sidekick Show, Rob.
Hey,
Rob.
how's it going?
And
Hello.
John Ho.
What's up, folks?
As well, yes. So let's just get right into it because we're on a time crunch here. So we'll start with our main stories. So in corporate acquisition news, AT&T spins off Warner Media.
My favorite corporate acquisition news.
It spins off Warner Media and merges it with Discovery. Holy crap, that's huge news, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Corporate action news here. What's going on? We got the stock market come crashing down.
So-
Warner's is spinning off AT&T.
So I'll throw it to you, Rob, first. How does this affect us, lowly streamers of media? How does that affect us?
Very little at all. I think I didn't realize that the Discovery Channel is actually a huge media empire. There's a lot of subsidiary channels that Discovery owns. So does this mean how will it affect us? Maybe if you are a watcher of Discovery Channel during Shark Week, maybe they will have King Shark cameos. Maybe they will do those. You know how they do those. The mechanics of muscles, maybe they will actually use now, the Flash for runners and this and that. Like they will show, a super hero comparative to a human. So I think in that synergy, you'll see that type of stuff. But how it affects you and I, nothing.
Okay, so Discovery includes, like Rob said, TLC, Food Network, HGTV, among others. So, John, is this a media company or potential streaming media giant that Netflix and Disney Plus should be afraid of?
I don't know. They're definitely a little late to the game if they're trying to add value. But HGTV and TLC and stuff like that, I think those are stuff that people like to watch. And definitely like good background noise for people and stuff like that. We currently get ours through Stack TV via Amazon Prime. So I don't know if they're going to house it under, because Stack TV is an additional charge on top of your Amazon Prime. So if this means it's being added, like I don't exactly understand all the stuff going on here, but if this means it's going to get added on to something else that you already have existing and make things easier, then yeah, I'm in. Yeah.
All right. So
Well, just say the only caveat, just understand, is that Discovery Canada is vastly different than it is in the US. So John's right, but I really don't see us benefiting whatsoever. It's very much like how HBO in Warner's is in the US. Crave Canada has access to the HBO catalog, so we don't have HBO Max up here. So I think if you look at it that way, we probably won't notice any ripple effect whatsoever.
All right. So
it's going to be a problem if I have to subscribe to a third or fourth streaming service. At some point, I might as well just go back to cable. Right? Because everybody already has.
No, cable sucks. You can't go back to cable.
Cable doesn't have the stuff that's on streaming, so you have to do streaming. You want to watch Stranger Things? It's not going to be on CTV. You're going to have your Netflix package.
So I mean, if it affects me in that everything I wanted to watch gets stripped away and added to a third or fourth streaming service, I think that kind of affects us, right? Like you said, it's different in Canada. So what if they just consolidated everything and then they made one more Warner Media everything? And then all of a sudden, there's a third or fourth streaming service on top of everything else that we're already supposed to try and get.
Yeah. So to you, so if Pat using his example in Canada, we used to be called CBS All Access. Now I think it's called Paramount All Access. We have a very stripped down version of it. I think it's only $6 a month in Canada comparative to what it is in the US, because a lot of those rights for those shows are owned by different companies, whether it's Bell or Shaw or this and that. So it really is a bit of a hodgepodge mess when it comes to figuring out where to get your streaming shows from up here. It's just different. So,
All right, good take, guys. Moving on, our next story is so Loki is releasing June 9th, and ahead of its due date, or sorry, release date, Disney dropped. Dude, it's pushing
along
that baby right out of there. Yeah. So Marvel's released a slew of things this week. Episode clips. I think it was Agent Mobius, not to be confused with Morbius. And
Morbius the vampire.
A new trailer, Miss Minutes trailer, and a history of Loki short, a 30-second history of Loki short. So this is approaching very quickly. We didn't do many reactions to this, so I would say, I'm assuming you guys have watched all these. Give us your reaction on Loki. We'll start with John. What do you think this show is going to be?
Yeah, so originally I didn't really care. Loki's not one of my guys, not in my wheelhouse. But the first look at it, the first trailer I think we did do a reaction to. It definitely does look interesting. It's like a quantum leap kind of meets I don't know, sliders, like this weird thing where Loki's gonna be jumping around doing things, and that sounds cool to me. And freaking, it's Owen Wilson, right? Not the other Wilson.
Luke? Owen Wilson, yes,
Wilson.
Not Luke. Owen, yes.
Not Luke. Yeah, Owen Wilson. Yeah, I'm down. That guy's really funny. His delivery of things and just chilling about. Yeah, like Shanghai Kid. That's such a cool nickname. Like shout outs to Shanghai Nights. But yeah, I'm in. I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be weird to have the Wednesday release. yeah. It's weird. It's gonna be weird because they're switching to the Wednesday release. I'm really worried about everyone's gonna get, like, I don't really care about the spoilers, but I think some people are gonna get upset because they're not gonna be able to watch it till Friday or Saturday. So it's an interesting choice. I'd like to know why they jumped it to Wednesdays, but who knows?
Great. So Pat, what do you think?
Still going on? Also on Friday, because Bad Batch is still going on, right? Maybe they just didn't want to.
No, it'll end by then.
Oh, okay.
I actually wonder if it's because of in the U.S. the summer is getting back to normal, and I wonder if they are more concerned that people will be wanting to go out and do things on weekends because they haven't for the past year and a half. I mean, that is purely conjecture. It was just something I've been wondering, but that's maybe why I figure. I mean, people will still be at home watching television midweek, right? So maybe.
All right. So after it's all said and done, where do you think this will rank in the three Marvel shows, John?
I'm thinking, just because WandaVision, I think I ended up really liking it towards the end, and when I kind of go back and think about it, I do appreciate it for what it was trying to do, but it wasn't kind of the typical, like, the show that I was expecting. Like, when I watched the trailers, I already wasn't really on board. I ended up watching it. I ended up enjoying it. So I think Falcon Winter Soldier is probably going to be at the top still, just because those are the characters I love. That's the genre I wanted to see. Loki looks like it's kind of just like action, but with a little bit of like this espionage, like kind of trickery stuff going on. So I think it's going to sit in the middle for me. And that's no disrespect to WandaVision, who ends up on the bottom. But yeah.
Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with John. I think, yeah, I just saw that Lewis said Bad Batch runs till mid-August. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. That's a lot of show. That's like,
well, they're only half-hour episodes, right?
No, so. I know, but that's 20-something episodes, right? Like,
yeah.
So at any rate, I think John's right. I think, listen, not to take away from WandaVision, it just wasn't everybody's cup of tea. I think you were either really enjoyed it or you weren't a big fan of it. I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find somebody who is kind of bordering on the middle. I don't think it has rewatchability, my own personal opinion. So I think it'll probably, but they took a chance, and I respect that. So I think it'll be the bottom of the three. I think, Loki could have the potential to usurp Falcon and the Winter Soldier because it looks just so bonkers and fun and crazy. And Loki, Tom Hiddleston portrays that character, and people are galvanized by him, right? They're attracted to it. So it could actually top.
He plays a great Loki. Like, this character, I don't care at all about the fact that he plays does such a good delivery. Yeah. That's what's got me interested.
All right, Pat, known WandaVision super fan Pat, what do you think?
I actually am pretty excited about Loki. I'm more excited about this Loki show than I was about Winter Soldier. Because, like, I feel like yeah. I don't necessarily always want to see the big action shows, so I feel like this looks like it's going to be more episodic, right? Like, that's one of the things that a lot of people didn't really didn't really like about WandaVision and like Falcon and Winter Soldier is that you have to watch it in order as if it was a movie, right? You can't like watch them out of place because it doesn't make any sense. But if they were to do Loki, where like every episode he just has to do something, it might be a different viewing experience, right? Because I remember we talked about how WandaVision, if you go back and you watch it all at once, right? It's like it's a different viewing experience. And even with Falcon and Winter Soldier, it's basically a 6-hour movie, right? It's basically a 6-hour movie.
All right, good
Yeah,
stuff,
it's-
guys.
Pat's message instead of his laundry because he does his laundry during peak hours. We're now in off-peak hours, so he can't do his laundry during.
Yeah, that wasn't the laundry. That was something else.
That
was his Ring doorbell telling him somebody's walking by. Yeah.
All right, so our last major news item, I guess, much to John Ho and Snyder fans' delight, Army of the Dead comes out after a short, limited theater stint, releasing on Netflix tomorrow to everybody, to the general public. Reviews are in, and they are generally positive, even receiving a audience score of 79%. So we know John and
You're not going to
Rob
mention the critic
are
score?
big
Is
on
there a
this.
critic score?
I don't know. I don't think that matters. But how good, Pat?
I
you
think
don't
it's
know Pat's take
74.
on this
I think
movie.
it's
Okay,
74.
I do not care about this movie at all.
How good is this movie going to be, Pat?
I don't care at all. I do not care about this movie in the slightest. And Batista's in it. Not at all. I have no interest in watching it.
What if he Batista bombs a bunch of guys?
A bunch of zombies?
Zombies,
Sure,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Batista's a glorified power bomb, man. That's all it is.
Okay, John picked
No
this as
interest in
his breakout movie of the year in our Heroes World podcast. John, defend that take.
I think it's just gonna. It's just gonna. There's a lot of people who are gonna gravitate towards it. This is a new franchise. It's gonna be a new, almost like, you know, some movies kind of become like a way of life. You know, like you're like, oh, I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and you're like all about the Fast and the Furious.
Quarter
That type
mile.
of stuff. So yeah. So like, don't do that, folks. You know, you should not be speeding on the streets. All these kind of crazy stuff going on. But I'm saying they've got a whole thing planned. They've got prequels planned. They've got follow-ups planned. I wouldn't be surprised if they got video games and comics and all that kind of stuff planned. And I think it crushed. Like it opened. It's only been open 1 week, and I think it made like 780 mil. Or not 780,000.
I was like, 700 million.
That'd be impressive. That'd be impressive. But for a Netflix movie, which, you know, it's Netflix movies have
very
this
limited
kind of
theater release. Yeah.
this stigma to them, right? I think that's pretty cool. I think that's cool, and I think people are going to watch it. And I think a lot of people are going to watch it this weekend. We got the long weekend for us Canadians. I don't know if there's any type of holiday in the States, but I know they love them some zombies and Vegas themed movies. So did anyone else watch the first 15 minutes of it? Did you guys watch the first 15 minutes?
I want to
watched
hold
it.
off.
I
want to hold off and wait.
Me too.
It started with music, like a typical Zack Snyder
A music
scene.
montage? Shocking.
It was a music montage. I turned it off. I couldn't do it.
Wait, were they Icelandic singers holding on to a Batista sweater?
There was so a couple Zack Snyder tropes. There was a musical intro. I don't think that's really spoiling anything.
Uh-huh.
So like
Was it Leonard Cohen by any chance?
It wasn't. I'm waiting for it to show up. It was.
All right.
So
Cohen. So if John's right and this is successful, combined with the success of the Snyder Cut, Rob, is this the year of Snyder?
I think you can probably just give it to him. Called the year that Zack Snyder, it was his comeback year.
Did Snyder Cut win the pandemic so far? Like the amount of hype surrounding it?
I think so. I think so. I think it was a perfect. It was a perfect recipe. We were in the middle of lockdown still throughout North America. There was not a lot, even though Netflix is committed to releasing a new movie every week. This was a huge, it was a groundswell. You even throw in the controversy with Ray Fisher against Warner Brothers. Like, it really was a perfect storm. So I think, you could say 2021 would be the year of Zack Snyder in terms of cinematic, because nobody else is going to have dual movies this year. I'm looking forward to seeing this movie. I think it looks like a video game come to life. It looks like, what was it?
Dead Rising or Days Gone.
Island. Was it, Pat? There was a zombie, Dead Island, Matt, right? So I think it gives me a bit of a sense of that or something. I don't know.
There are a million zombie games, by the way.
No, I know what you're talking about. There was Dead Island where you were on like a resort
Yeah.
some type of vacation spot, and you're like running around. And stuff
Yeah.
like that. And
So you know
like
what?
Chris said, Dead Rising.
It really reminds me of Dead Rising because the first one took
Left-
place in
Left
like
4
a
Dead?
giant like super mall.
Left 4 Dead was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't Left 4 Dead what takes place in a mall or whatever? So it looks cool. It looks I'm excited to watch it. And as John said, we are jumping into the May 2-4 weekend. We got 3 days, and you know, this is a kind of a perfect opportunity, especially if in certain areas we may not have the best weather. It's hard to say, right? So if not, it's a great Saturday night movie. You know, crush a couple beers and give it a go.
There you go. That's it's a generally positive reviews.
I think that's pretty good, especially.
That's very good. I think.
Yeah, it's been out for over a week, so it's not like they were able to embargo or whatever the hell they call it some reviews.
Yeah.
Like there's regular people reviewing it. So.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got for the main news topics. We're gonna throw it to Pat for picture news.
Hey, yeah, let's talk about.
Whoa, picture news.
Picture
What we
news.
miss, but
This is like how
in
Penthouse
short
started.
pictures. So, in case you haven't seen, what I'm going to share with you guys is some stuff. Left 4 Dead was a good game. I just saw the comment. What I'm going to share is just some.
They just dropped a trailer for the new one or something like that.
The spiritual sequel. I know. So we're going to share some pictures of stuff that you guys may or may not have seen, but it's pretty big news. So first on the docket is pictures of Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Robin.
Robin as Batman.
Very appropriate.
Is it loading? Is it loading? How do I get this?
So,
Here it is.
so good old Edward.
So good. Look at him. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Rob, have you seen this? This is not totally new, right?
Yeah, no, this one is new. This is the only thing that's missing is there's a calendar. So this came from the calendar that was just leaked out this week, the 2022 calendar. So yeah.
Damn
and
those
then we
calendar
also
printers.
We also have a picture of
Jumping
his
the gun, man.
Batmobile.
Jeez.
Yep.
You guys seen that? Look, it looks like a '69 Charger.
John's gotta love that. Come on.
GTFO.
This
It
is
looks
not
like
a
it's
69
an
Charger?
amalgamation of several muscle cars. Yeah. It does not
Okay,
look like
sure.
It doesn't
It does
matter.
not
I
look
think
like
it
a
looks really
Charger.
cool. No, I actually like it. It's a departure from every Batman or Batmobile that we've ever had in cinematic wise.
69 Charger. And then we had pictures of this
Not even
new. It's the only muscle car I know. We
I
have pictures of this new Riddler. Look at him. He looks
Yeah.
like Baron Zemo, kind of.
So this
It
is
looks like he's wearing a garbage bag over his
well, no,
head.
this is interesting because he actually has. It's hard to see in this photo, but he actually has
Sorry.
like a piece over his mouth, and it's very reminiscent of like what the Zodiac killer, the description back in the set, what it looked as people were describing him as. So it's got like a. If I could just use it, it's like it's like a gimp mask from but modified. So.
What is it you bought, Rob? A what mask?
When you were doing a garage sale, I went and I said, "What are you doing with this gimp mask?" You just take it. I don't even want it. I said, okay.
You don't know where I live.
Okay, next. We also had a picture of Zoe Kravitz as the Catwoman, the new Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Catwoman at all.
No ears. What's going on?
Well, no, those are ears there. You can see the little tufts of. It's like when you hang your T-shirt and then you take it off the hanger and it still has the hanger marks.
No, who hangs their t-shirts on hangers? Who does that?
Or your
Who does that?
sweaters.
Who
Or
puts
sweaters.
her toque on a hanger?
That's right. So
So those are the new-ish Batman pictures that were kind of leaked or spoiled or sent out. Since we were talking about Zack Snyder a couple of minutes ago, he also posted this to his social medias. Rob, you probably know this better than anybody, but I did not. This was news that was brought to me by you guys because I don't follow Zack
It's a
Snyder that
picture
much.
of what looks
Somebody
like a
tell us,
driveway with
well,
like
it actually
some type
says
of,
Driveway Productions, John.
some type of family sedan, and then it's got a green screen golf thing set up and a bunch of cameras. Like it's pretty impressive, I guess.
Yeah, so you're an idiot. So I can't remember the name of this actor off the top of my head, but he was David something, but he had filmed this scene. He was so at the end of, and I don't care about spoilers now. At the end of the Snyder cut, Bruce Wayne sees
Spoiler alert.
Martian Manhunter floating, but it was actually supposed to be Green Lantern, and it was this individual. and he was supposed to be John Stewart Green Lantern, and everything was pre-vised up, and he filmed it all, like as you can see on the driveway. And then Warner's came in and said, you can't use John Stewart. We obviously know something is in the pipeline with him right now, but with a potential movie. So they had to switch it back to Martian Manhunter.
Move the car.
It's all green screen anyways, John.
It's just funny.
Yeah, so that's like some of the movie stuff that we saw. I'm also a pretty big toy guy, so a bunch of Marvel Legends got revealed last week from the Infinity Saga, including this guy, which is look at it. It's Surtur from
Ragnarok. Okay, he's the big guy,
Ragnarok.
right?
Yeah, so this is coming out soon to go along with the Marvel Legends line. They also revealed a Mark III Iron Man, to step it back a second, to go back to like Marvel. Which Iron Man was this? Iron Man 1? Right?
Yeah.
So like this. And then they also released pictures of a 2-pack that they're releasing of Thanos and Iron Man doing this like at the end of Endgame. So if you can see, they have their little gloves, and you can recreate the snap.
Interesting.
They each come with like 3 or 4 heads. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And then they also have this Thanos, which it's loading. Yeah. So that's some of the toy news that were happening. Plus, if you're a Lego guy, Lego also revealed the Lego Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
Woo.
It's 3,700 pieces, and it's like it's pretty big. I'm not a huge Lego guy, but I would be down to buy this myself. So it's like a modular piece, so you can see that like
it comes with everything in the picture. There's like a little taxi cab in the bottom and stuff.
Okay.
That's cool.
It's modular, so you're supposed to be able to build the individual offices and piece it together however you want. It also comes with a spider buggy. You know that dune buggy? So look, this is like a zoom.
They can drive up the wall.
Wow, look at the detail. It's like fire escapes and everything.
Well, look at that. It's Firestorm at the. Is it Firestorm or no? Firestar. Sorry, yeah, the very chart. Yeah.
Firestorm's a different guy, different universe.
Look at all those characters.
Wow, look at all the figs you get.
25 little minifigures if you're a minifigure.
Spider-Ham.
Oh, look at that Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham,
Cool.
Firestar,
Sandman,
Ghost Spider, even like a bunch of the random guys.
Venom Carnage.
The cab driver.
The cab driver, man.
Gotta
Yeah,
have some civilians to save.
yeah. So if you're so be on the lookout for that. There's also some comic news that dropped.
Sure.
They are redoing it's the 30th anniversary of Darkhawk. So I don't know if anybody remembers Darkhawk. Yeah, but Darkhawk's coming back. A new guy by the name of Connor Young is going to be taking over the amulet.
That's a good-looking costume on the cover.
It is,
for
right?
sure.
That looks cool.
And then changing the wings to these energy wings usually has like what are his wings usually? Big metal things that come out of his arms, right?
They were metal 30 years ago.
Yeah, but
like
they're like
Silverhawks.
attached. They're like attached to his arms. Alice Silverhawks. So I think this is a pretty cool redesign. Like he's appeared here and there, and he kind of became like a Nova Corps-ish squad of Darkhawks and all this kind of stuff recently. So yeah, that's cool.
Actually,
All right.
John, you recently reposted one of our earlier podcast episodes, and we were talking about the best video games. But during that episode, we were pitching Disney Plus shows, and I actually pitched a Darkhawk show. So I was rewatching that episode.
Was that right before or right after you chose Mortal Kombat 95 as the best video game movie in existence at the time?
At that time, I was not wrong. And I also picked it to screw you over.
It's still better than the Mortal Kombat we just got. So
yeah, he hate drafted that.
Nobody remembers Darkhawk, man, but it's been 30 years. And one more little bit of comic book thing. We're big fans of Immortal Hulk at the store. So Immortal Hulk is coming to an end, and it's ending with issue number 50. And this is what the cover looks like. Look at that.
Wow.
Like classic.
Yeah, it's another Alex Ross cover. I think he's been doing the covers for the entire run.
So you can see like the leader. You can see Doc Samson. You can see Abomination, I assume.
Yeah.
I don't know who the flying character is, but
well, the last time I read it, that flying character was Betty Ross.
okay, there you
and
go.
then she got mutated. So
so really cool book if you want a non-traditional comic. It's really kind of like out there. It's definitely got a horror spin to it, but it's also really cool. It's very dark. So it's kind of funny that this is ending as well as Donny Cates' run on Venom just wrapped up. So Marvel's going to lose, I think, two of their hottest books right now. So we'll see what they follow it up with.
And I have one more thing to show everybody in case you missed it. If you guys don't know, I'm a big Transformers guy. So they revealed the pictures to the box art of the Transformers deck building game. I know Chris was in here. I know he's a big fan of Transformers as well. So this is what the box looks like by Renegade Game Studios, and some of the preview cards look kind of like this. So if you can see, John, look, some of this art has been reused though. Like this Frenzy art was used on the card game, which was used in some like promotional images in some of the comics, right? So it's not completely new art, but get excited.
It looks like it's possibly comic art. It looks like it's either from the IDW run
or the current stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. And that's, in a nutshell, all the pictures that I have to show everybody this week.
Cool.
Very cool, Pat. Thank you.
No worries.
All right, so I'm going to try a new segment here. It's going to be, there's a lot of quick hit news items going through. So they don't necessarily require any kind of discussion. What I'll do is I'll introduce a topic, and then I'll give it to you. I'll throw it to you guys for a quick one word or one sentence take on it, and we'll see where we get with this. I was going to call it like the lightning round or the speed round, but I feel like, more comic appropriate, we should call it the Speed Force.
I don't know about that. I think during your original pitch you called it hero or zero.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little more.
Right, we'll workshop it. Okay, here we go. So some quick hits here. HBO Max is beefing up their animation division. They're adding a new Batman animated series from Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, and J.J. Abrams, as well as a new Superman animated series starring the boys Jack Quaid. Which one, if you could only watch one, would you watch, John?
I'm gonna go with Batman. So if it's a return of the classic Batman series with today's technology, which they can totally just, I feel like they can almost just plug and play. It's good to go because the animation is like that old animation. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but it's spectacular. But now they can do it even easier, so they can just crank out stuff as long as it's well written and they got the right voice talent. So I would choose that one right now.
All right, good one sentence take, John. Rob.
I'm gonna go Batman, Chris, because I think that the premise for the Superman show sounds ridiculous.
Pat, what do you think?
Whatever Bruce Timm is doing, done.
Batman, okay. HBO Max is now going to offer a new $10 USD subscription with ads. So this is $5 US more than their current subscription. Would you tolerate ads? $5 less. Sorry. Would you tolerate ads to say $5 US a month, Pat?
Can I use ad block? If so, no.
Rob?
We don't get it, so it doesn't matter.
John, would you do that?
Rob is like irrelevant. Yeah. So Stack TV has a similar
Rob is irrelevant. You heard that here first.
Thank you. Apparently, John and my wife have been speaking, and they both come to the same conclusion.
That's the title of the video now.
No, but Stack TV has a very similar model where you kind of and you had to pay for it too, and you get an ad maybe when the show opens. It's usually an ad for something else on the service, and then usually somewhere in the middle or whatever during what a typical commercial break would be. But it's going to be really weird if you're watching a movie and these ads pop up. But some people are casual viewers, so I think it's going to fit for them. So sure, why not? You don't have to. You can pay the full price.
Well, listen, the most sense it would make is if you were like, yeah, you know what, and I'll throw that $5 onto CBS Paramount All Access if you for the $5 a month and get an extra streaming service. So yeah, I guess it makes sense in that regard. But
yeah, or all the black licorice you can eat.
No more of that right now. I got full.
Next item, DC has hired Bad Boys for Life filmmakers. You can look up the names. I don't want to butcher them here. To direct the Batgirl movie for Warner Brothers. We know John Ho is hyped about this. What about you, Rob?
Okay.
Pat.
Don't care.
Okay, John. What do you think? Take their time, John.
Yeah, I'm a Bad Boys for Life. I really did enjoy it. I thought they did a good job with it. I'm mixed reviews on it and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely Batwoman. The TV show.
Is it Batwoman or Batgirl?
Is it? Yeah, Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Batgirl. Okay, so that's a different story. So Batgirl, yeah, you can feel some action in there. Maybe throw in Nightwing or Robin or some of the other side characters. Yeah, because I'm like, they already have a Batwoman TV show. Like, they're gonna additionally do a movie for it. I don't quite see the vision for it yet, but you know.
Hey, John, I hate to tell you this. There's a
Yeah.
Flash TV show, and they're making a Flash movie.
Get it the F out.
All right, next item. So do you guys remember when Marvel Entertainment signed an exclusive deal with SiriusXM to produce some original audio content?
Yes.
No. Oh,
I
you
vaguely
do?
remember that
Okay,
story.
well, I don't
I remember
either.
that story.
Well, the first one called Wastelanders Old Man Star-Lord comes out June 1st. Will you be listening, Pat?
I don't have Sirius XM radio.
Okay, say someone sent it to you, or a free link for a free trial. Will you be listening?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. If you haven't subscribed in a while, you can usually get a 3-month trial.
I'm assuming I can play it on and just listen. I don't have to like sit there and like do this. Right? So yeah, I'll listen to it.
I would pay to see Pat listen to books on tape if he was making that face. No, I have no interest in listening to it. I do like podcasts, but I'm just not a fan of that format of scripted stuff audibly. So no thanks.
All right. Next news is they're making an Injustice: Gods Among Us animated movie based on the video game. I'll go to our video game expert, Pat. Did you play the game, and is this something to be excited about?
Yes, it is the best alternate reality of like story. Like it's the best story based on. It's the best alternate reality that they've made so far. Like the Injustice world is very good.
Sean, what about you?
Yeah, it did very well in comic book form, and it wasn't even DC's like main push. Like they didn't make it a headlining act. They kind of just released it on the side. Didn't have super top talent. Some top talent came from it, but they didn't at the time. They didn't really push it. So I think it's definitely good that they lean into this world. A lot of people really liked it. A lot of people like that darker stuff. It's very boys meets I don't know what you would call it. Like it's a much darker take on the DC universe. So I think people are gonna dig it. So yeah, why not do it?
It was like 4 years
now.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, do you care?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I think John's right. This came originally, they were digital release only. I mean, these were like like penny books, I think, when they came out for digital. So I'm just not a fan of I have both games. I like them. I like to play them. I'm not a fan of the costumes personally, but I'll watch the movie, sure.
All right, so next one. This one's here, 80s action guys here in the house from the Sidekick Show. Arnold Schwarzenegger's spy TV show was purchased by Netflix. Is the world ready for Arnold on the small screen, John?
He's done a bunch of small screen projects like that, like some really weird stuff. He's done a couple really weird movies that even I didn't like. Even being the fan that I am, I couldn't really get into. But a TV show, I guess, yeah, depends. I watched Jean-Claude Van Johnson and thought it was all right. So
goes to show people will watch anything.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was all right. They definitely went too far into like the silly side. So I think if yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited for it, but I'll give it a try.
Rob, what say you? You're shaking your head. What say you?
Listen, I'm just going to call it what it is. The only news we want to hear about Arnold and a new project is a King Conan. And that's it. This doesn't like a spy show with Arnold. I mean, how much of a spy can you be? You're at past your True Lies days. Right? He's 70.
Yeah, why not feed into one of his existing properties? Like, why? Like, remember he tried to do a Governator TV show?
Yeah. So, you know what? I would rather see him as King Conan. That's what everybody wants to see, but we're not going to get it. So will I watch it? Maybe.
Pat, you tuning in?
Nope. Next.
All right. We're running a little long. Maybe I can do one more.
That's what she said.
All right. The much anticipated Friends reunion released a trailer. This is premiering next week, May 27th. It's not just a Q&A, which is hosted by James Corden. It had some table reads, a quiz show, and some potential other surprises. Are you hyped for this, Pat?
Yes. 100%. It's 100%. I would watch that over anything by Arnold Schwarzenegger or like anything by like anything.
Stop hating.
I would watch that over anything.
Who's your favorite friend, Pat?
Chandler.
Oh really? Oh really?
Rob, will you be watching this? Could you be any more hyped for this?
Yeah. I'll watch it. I watched Friends when it was out. It was my must viewing show on Thursday nights. So I'll give it a go. I got to tell you though, I'm a little bit disappointed in the format in which it's being done. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did something very similar earlier this year, and I think we all kind of wanted a proper, like, even if it was like an hour show, right, with them back in character. I think I would have preferred something similar than what we're getting, but that's fine. I just do want to say though, Dovetail, there's a lot of online talk about Matt Perry and how he's looking and behaving and stuff like that, and maybe hopefully it's not exploited in the show, but at any rate, that's something I guess people can look up on their own. But yeah, I'll watch it. Am I going to watch it on the 27th? No, I'll probably wait till the weekend or something.
Who's your favorite friend, Rob?
I was gonna say Pat, but I would also say Chandler, because generally he and I share sarcastic humor quite well.
Really?
Is it a clean sweep, John? Is it a clean sweep for Chandler?
John's a Joey type of guy.
I think he's a Ross, actually.
I did quite like Joey, but yeah, I think I am gonna go Team Ross, just because he really started to like carry the show towards the end. But yeah, I'm hyped for this. Like Rob said, at first I was like, hey, how come they can't get together and do an episode? But maybe the magic is not quite there. So maybe they need to do something like this first to establish that maybe these guys still have chemistry. But I do like the idea of them just getting together, reminisce. Hopefully they're going to talk about their favorite episodes and maybe have a feature on the guest stars and stuff like that. But we're in a world where every one of these shows of this iconic nature has its own podcast now, like Scrubs, The Office. I think Gilmore Girls even has one, where basically creators and people that worked on the show are getting together and talking about every single episode.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that happen with this, but I think those guys, that the people on that show, just made way too much money, and I don't think they need to sit down and do a daily podcast. But I would love to see an episode by episode commentary from various cast members. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I think this is the closest we're going to get.
You'd probably get like a Gunther doing the podcast and trying to like have people.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, maybe
residual characters. Yeah. All right, that's all the lightning round or whatever I called it, news items. We are way over time here, but let's throw it to the weekend and see what you guys are recommending for the weekend. John, anything?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch Army of Dead, so I hope you guys are going to watch it with me. I think that MODOK series also comes out.
Starts tomorrow.
So
Disney Plus.
Stars on tomorrow. I think I'm going to
watch it. That's what I'm watching.
Attempt to tank that, and even Bad Batch. I've been really enjoying Bad Batch. That last episode 3. If you guys want to talk about episode 3, that was a pretty dark episode. So I'm down. But definitely Army of the Dead is the main thing on my plate.
All right, Rob, what do you got on cue?
Yeah, I'm going to just kind of piggyback on what John said. MODOK looks fantastic. It's gotten great reviews, so I'm very excited to check that out. Army of the Dead I'll be watching. And to be honest with you, I'm going to spend part of my weekend firing off tweets to the different movie companies because, as announced today, we will not be going back into movie theaters until maybe August. And there's a lot of movie companies that are refusing to release movies on demand throughout the summer. So it's easy to avoid spoilers for a couple of days. How do you avoid spoilers for an entire summer until it hits the 45-day window mark? So if you're angry about it, start sending out your messages and tweets to the movie companies and asking them to put it on video on demand. That's my rant for today.
All right, good stuff. Pat, MODOK, right, Pat?
MODOK, 100% right. MODOK.
Yeah. Okay. Pat Oswalt. There you go.
What are you gonna watch, Chris? You're gonna MODOK, or are you gonna Army of Dead?
I'll probably do Army. I'll probably do Army of the Dead for sure. I don't know if I'll have time to do all of MODOK, but I'll do maybe one. I'll look in. All right, that's all I have. I'm going to turn it over to John. He's good at closing these things out and letting us know what's going on in the week with Heroes
And we're
World.
done. See you later, folks. No. All right, so yeah, new Heroes World podcast every Sunday. Every Sunday we'll probably be covering one of those major things that is dropping this weekend. We haven't decided yet. And the Heroes World Sidekick Show, Heroes World presents the Sidekick Show every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're talking John Wick 2 this coming Monday. So if you joined us for John Wick 1, definitely go back and watch that one, and then join us for John Wick 2, and then the following week will be John Wick 3. And man, this movie series definitely holds up. And Rob, I think, just dropped a new video today, right?
I did, yeah, on YouTube at the 905. You can check me out on Instagram at the_905. So today it was just a recommendation. It's made 2-4. So I gave some bookie book recommendations because it can't always be about the comics. So some kind of on brand stuff though. The battle between Marvel and DC. And as well as Console Wars. Pat, I think I had talked about this before. It's a really good book. So definitely, if you're a fan of video games and obviously want to know some inside baseball information on those early days of Marvel and DC, check out the episode. Thanks, John.
Yeah, I think that's it. So we've got the exclusive on Chris and Pat right now. So we're trying different things. So let us know what you think, folks. If you like these formats, if you like the Speed Force Lightning Round, whatever we're going to call it.
I like heroes,
baby.
If you care about seeing pictures, or if you prefer us to just kind of dive into some. Well, the problem with pictures is it takes time. It takes time for us to pull pictures. It takes time for us to put it on the screen and react to it and talk about it. So maybe you just want to hear us kind of just dive into whatever the current news is and give our takes on it, or
maybe you want to hear a scripted podcast.
Yeah, we
can actually recreate storylines from comics, and we'll just read it out for you.
Yeah, table reads. Heroes World table reads. Let's go.
On that Friends thing, it looks like they're doing rereads of some of their some of their most famous scenes. So I am looking forward to that. So maybe we'll get together and do some Friends content. If anyone is down with Friends, maybe we'll hop on and do our top 3 Friends episodes and see who overlaps with who. But I think that's all we got for you. Thank you everyone for tuning in for so what I missed. Thanks to Chris and Pat for doing all the work because I didn't have any time to do any of this work today. Thanks to Rob for joining us. He's probably got to walk his dog and throw up a bucket of licorice because he's still reeling from Monday. I don't know how long it takes for licorice to go through.
Yeah, but I heard he's irrelevant.
Body.
It doesn't matter.
I'm irrelevant, so it doesn't matter what happens to me.
That's it. That's the title of the podcast.
Irrelevant. Rob the Irrelevant.
John Ho quote. Rob is irrelevant.
I'm now changing my YouTube channel. I'm irrelevant.
It's a good one-liner to fire off at the end of an action movie. You're irrelevant, and then just I don't know, falls off the building or something. You can do the Hans Gruber. But anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll check you guys later. So please give Rob's channel a sub. He needs some subs. We got to get him up there. We got to get him to name his YouTube channel because a whole bunch of letters and numbers, it's hard for him to memorize. Although I would be very impressed, Rob, if you pull that off. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one.